Well, good evening, everybody. Once again, it's a Friday night, and I generally have some news items to talk about. And I do have a news item, but it's personal. It's about me. But it's not just about me, of course. It may help somebody. So here's a picture of my PC. Yeah, what a mess, eh? Well, it looks like a mess because I've been pulling things out and everything, checking things, because my PC had a moment. Now, I built this PC quite a few years ago. Of course, it's had some different motherboards and different video cards and everything else in it. But the case is quite original, because you can see it's quite a big one. Gets good airflow. But for quite some time now, my PC has been going a bit slow every now and then. And then I got some crashes. Now, I boot up a dual boot, which is Windows 7 and Windows 10. But on one of these crashes, it took Windows 7 completely out. By the way, these are on two separate drives as well. But it also affected Windows 10, and Windows 10 wouldn't start up either. Now, I usually have a backup always on hand, but my backup was about 1.5 years old now, and I've got something completely different on my PC now. So I was in kind of a rock and a hard place here. Anyway, I tried something. All I had was a Windows 7 startup disk. Would that work with Windows 10? So anyway, I had to try a startup repair 3 or 4 times, but miraculously, Windows 10 did start up. I'm saved. But Windows 10 wasn't running very good either. Obviously, I did a visual check of the motherboard of any busting capacitors or whatever, checked my power supply and reseated the memory, but it didn't help too much. Now, Windows 10 has a memory tester, so I gave that a go, and it rebooted and started doing the memory test. But it said to me it has found hardware issues on my PC. Didn't tell me what, but it still did the test. But I did the test 4 or 5 times, but never could find the file of what it said. It's in the event viewer, but it just didn't go there. So I tried a hunch and went on to Amazon and ordered 2 sticks of 8GB RAM. And they arrived the next day. Usually I buy Corsair memory because it's good, but the price of Corsair has gone way up. It's good, but it isn't that good, like 3 times the price. At least double anyway, so I bought Patriot. So anyway, I put the new memory in and took all my old memory out and started it up. And lo and behold, it ran really fast, like it used to. So I thought I'd try the Windows 10 memory test. And when it started up this time, it said, no issues were found on my PC. Of course, then it said yet, because it's covering itself, of course. So that pretty much told me it was a memory. So I ordered 2 more 8GB sticks, which would give me 32GB. But just to say the Windows memory test is pretty good. At least it narrows some things down. I usually use Memtest 86, which has been the standard memory tester for years. And it's free. Next thing to do was to make a backup. And I've always used TrueImage, Acronis. But that was the old one, so I had to get the new one. And it still works as it used to do, but it's become way over bloated. Lots of bells and whistles on it now. But you can make a backup and you can clone your disk to another disk as well. For me, it's never failed. So I made a backup, and my SSD drive is 2TB, and I put it on a 500 SSD, an empty one. It did take up 463GB though. You can set it up to sort of make a backup every so often, sort of to keep your backup up to date. But I found it was intrusive, so I generally always do it manually. And then I made a recovery disk from Acronis. So basically you have a disk you can put in, and it will boot up and put Acronis on your system, and you're able to copy your backup onto any drive you want. And whammo, your whole system's back up and running. Presumably you can put it on a flash drive as well, if the flash drive is big enough. So at the time of this video, my PC is back up and running at its full speed. And it must have been slowing down slowly, gradually, and I just didn't notice, because it's really fast now. And that usually is a problem with PCs. When your PC crashes or something happens, it can be the motherboard, the power supply, the memory. You have to try and zone in on something. I got lucky, I guess. Oh yeah, I got a Corsair power supply, and I checked the prices of them as well. They've gone way up. Stupid prices. So anyway, about Windows 10 memory test, actually the built-in one. If it says it's found a hardware problem, people say it can be your memory, your motherboard, or your power supply. Try your memory first. It's the cheapest. For instance, if I changed the memory and it still said it found a hardware issue, it must be something else, right? And of course, as usual, it's Peroni tonight. And I'll take a look around and see if I can find any news items where we can, chat about. If not, I'll just keep drinking Peroni until I fall off my chair. You have a good one, guys. Take it easy.